everyone. Wamai, and welcome back to Dear Sungan. And if it's me and myself, this is called the Apps Under the Breadfruit Tree because sometimes I'm just going to be on here probably just talking about my week, how things have been going. I have had an interesting week, and this is something I'm going to challenge myself to do more on a consistent basis instead of like a one-off kind of thing. So I've been working with some business coach, just kind of getting to learn a little bit about what I need to do to help grow Dear Sunga. So I've mentioned before that I actually formed an LLC for it. You don't have to form an LLC to create a podcast, but there's just a vision behind it that I know that is going to require me to do such a thing. So hence the reason to start now, because why not do it now, right? Not only am I trying to do an LLC, I'm also going to try and do a 501c3 at the same time because I realize I want to be able to serve different women within my community. So if you're a Pacifica woman, I hope you'll be able to join me. And so I've been lucky enough. So I'm one of those people. What is going on here? So I'm one of those people that I try my best to find the resources that are out there. And so I found something through SBA, not alone, I'm not doing alone, but there's things like free coachings that can happen. So I've been using SCORE, I've been using What Women Business. See, there's so many things and reasons why you should be on Dear Sunga. So if you haven't subscribed yet, I thank you, and you're a woman that is looking to create like connections with other women with who are Pacifica women. Even if you're not a Pacifica woman, but you are probably raising a Pacifica woman like a child, or you just have a love for the Pacific Islands, I'd love for you to be part of our circle, our little conversations here. And so basically I try to put together resources, and that's something I'm super excited is because September is when I'm going to launch my first newsletter. So that will be something fun. I'm excited for it. So we will see how it goes. I love interactions on here. So this is a live chat. As you know, it's going to be a little different than what if I have like a guest on. That's usually not going to be live. It's probably just going to be me putting it out when I'm done editing. This one is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be free flow, because when I first started Dear Sunga, it was more of like a professional development type of goal for myself. There were times where I felt, when it comes to public speaking, I think I'm great at public speaking. I can stand in front of a room and I can talk to people. Yet when it comes to having one-on-one conversations, it's always been difficult. What I've learned is that I'm actually pretty good based on like the feedback I got from for my podcast, is that people love the conversations. I'm actually a really good listener, or I tell myself I am, but yes, people have told me that, and I'm learning that about myself. But it actually has evolved into something great, which has been this platform. And so even though I'm no longer with that company, I still feel like this has taken me to a space where I want to be. I am also, I like to say I'm an introvert, but people tell me that I'm not an introvert. But I do think I am an introvert because I do like my own space. Like I like to be on my own. My family knows this. As I love being around my family. Like I love getting to know and getting to see what everyone's doing. But it's been difficult. I think one of those things was being in a space. I don't know. There was just something about my last position that I just didn't feel comfortable with, and also I was going through a lot of things too, and so it was a mix of different things, but I felt like I was just like a totally different person in that environment, and I felt I didn't really feel safe. How do I say this? Because there are really good people. The partners were amazing. I've had great opportunities from there. There's just something there that just didn't work well with me. But you know, it is what it is. We're here, we're moving forward. That is probably a yap that I'm still trying to navigate through and trying to understand. And some things I try to not put out there yet until I'm fully okay with everything. So that's just pretty much it. Um, Lots going on. So going back to the fact that we have a September newsletter coming out. The biggest thing for August is for me to try and grow my audience, which has been difficult. I have to say, like the first week, like the end of July, early August, my analytics kind of soar. Like like really good. And then just this week, I've been focusing because I was sitting down and the coach had told me what's my vision. And the truth is, I think I've been scared to actually write out my vision. So I've been like on a go, go, go. Let me find a guest. Let me figure this person out. Or let me figure out what's going to be our reel. And, you know, just trying to go at it and not too sure where it was going. I mean, I had an idea of where I wanted to go, but I didn't really have like a solid idea of how that's going to happen. And so this week was actually really good because I sat down and one of the things that I'm really good at is organizing things. And so like calendaring and putting like a vision board, like all this stuff. And I'm super excited. So here's one of the things about the September issue is that it's such great timing right now because it's Q4. It's Q4 and it's like the last quarter of the year, and this is actually a crucial time. Usually people wait until the new year to actually start their goals, but this is actually the best time to actually figure out what your goals are for the year. And I think last year it was just a weird year for me, and even in the beginning of this year there's a whole lot of transitioning, lots of different things happening. And it's crazy because usually when things don't go accordingly to how things are planned, I'm just like crying, or you know, things are not happening the way it's supposed to. I think I've grown because when things are happening, it's like, I think it was just meant to be. I mean, I literally had said 2026 is probably going to be my last year here. But I guess it just came earlier than I expected it to be. But which is another thing, manifest. But anyways, going back to the calendar, see how I can go off on a tangent. Maybe I need to learn how to make this into a space where things just flow, because that's usually my conversation. I have a set of questions. I kind of have like, because I know time is limited. Anyways, so the calendar is going to be an exciting time because September, I'm hoping that when you are able to sign up, we'll go on this journey together just to kind of get your goals together so that in October, November, December, you're able to start like your goals, not wait until it's 2027 to actually do your goals, but it actually starts in October, November, December to like give it a trial period of how it's going to go. And that's exactly what I've learned too, that really works really well. Because it's so crazy, because one of the things that I have put off my calendar is gym exercise. It has not, the year before it was a huge goal for me, and then this year it hasn't, and it has been like the results for sure. I've gained so much weight. Like I look back at my TikToks, I look at the reels that I created the same time last year, and you know, I was like I was losing weight, I was doing really good, and then my focus has really changed just to kind of focus in on how to figure out how to grow Dear Sunga, how to grow professionally. That was sort of the route that I was going to go. And so it's really changed. And so I'm actually excited because I'm getting back on track, because even working out, like mornings were my favorite things to do. Mornings are my favorite. Like I wake up super early in the morning, I get stuff done, and then it just sets the tone for the day. And so that's something I'm gonna start putting together. You know, the idea of having to start all over, going back to the gym, it's difficult, it's not easy, but I'm gonna do it step by step to get back to where I need to be. So yes, September, I'm excited. And one of the exciting things is we're giving something away. So one of the things with the newsletter that I've come, while I was putting together my vision and everything, is realizing that with Dear Sunga, it's definitely wanting to highlight a business, a woman who's doing amazing things in the community, or a nonprofit or an organization that is going way above and beyond to serve the Pacific Island community. And that's going to be something that I'm looking to highlight in the newsletter. And so it just happens. So this is Pua Skin. I've enjoyed her products, and this is actually an older one. This is one that my last purchase. I have another one that I recently purchased, and it smells divine, like so good. And I'm going to be partnering with her to kind of give away, to do a giveaway. And so to hopefully meet my goals. So my goal is hopefully I at least get 50 newsletters for next month for September. So I'm excited. So this is going to help me stay accountable for whatever we're going to do. And so yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of excited of where things will go, what we'll be able to do. Yeah, it's just and for her to be on board with it, I'm so excited for it. So be on the lookout. That's something on the reel. So the first thing I'm gonna do is usually there's like a little thing that's bugging me right now. Yeah. Let's see. My train of thought has kind of come to a stop. But yes, that's my challenge this week, was kind of look at my vision, figure out what needs to be done. And so I've been sketching out what I have on the website right now is more for all Pacific Islanders. Like, I felt like there are so many events happening so far, but there was like no place to really see where things are happening, what are happening. And sometimes it's like, what's happening in Samoa or American Samoa or in the Cook Islands or somewhere else, but there was no like central place, especially. So I figured, oh, maybe I should create something like this. So I've done that. And the newsletter specifically is around women. So the events that I will give, I'll give in the newsletter pertains mainly for like women's event. I've been actually looking at grants and sponsorships and what's out there. So I have like a list that's put together. That's like a freebie. I'm also going to put out like my sample of what it looks like, a sample, what do we call that? A sample calendar, because that's something that I'm looking to do, more of like a quarterly calendar. So I created something small like this, which is kind of like, how people, when they look for a calendar, they usually have to flip back to see what the whole month is going to look like. So I actually decided that maybe it's something like this, where it's at the bottom and you can just kind of reference your full calendar. So I'm trying to decide, like, I wanted to do like, I'm working on it to be where it's like a printable version versus a digital version, because I also use my iPad a lot, so I like to kind of write in my date, and so I love a digital calendar as well. But I've also enjoyed writing things out, because sometimes, well, stats have said, research has shown that when you write things out, you are going to more likely remember them. So hence the reason for it. And I feel like sometimes when you get a note, it's actually really good to kind of get a little personal note with someone's. No one really writes anything anymore. So that's my reason for it. But I feel like there's a lot of people that are that love like a physical calendar. I love a physical calendar. Now, am I great at it? Hell no. But then, so those are things that come to mind while I'm building it. It's like sometimes I am going to be on point with a calendar, and sometimes my calendar will be so empty. So I've been back and forth trying to figure it out, but I kind of like it too. So that's the reason why I'm not putting an episode out, is because I want to be intentional about what is going to be put out a little bit more. So with my guests, I want to kind of make it where it's almost like a study guide, so that anytime someone is actually going to watch an episode, how does that apply to what you want to go into, what you plan to do in the week. So I'm excited. I have a few guests that have said yes, that they want to be part of it. And I think that's what August is for me. It's just kind of like my planning phase is kind of like plan it out. So that's what I'm excited for. It's something I've always loved to do. And so, people, the end of the fiscal year for people usually is kind of planned out what your 2027 is going to look like. And that's actually starting now. So what better way to help grow your business or figure out how you're going to grow, especially if you're small business, right? If you're a woman that's kind of running your own thing, you probably will need someone to kind of like a circle of women that you can come together and just be like, this is what I'm doing. And then someone's like, oh, I've heard of this. Like, I know someone who can do this. I'm not saying that you can follow it, but then at least you'll know what's out there. And I think that's why these circles are created. And this is the reason why I want to create a layer of a different layer for Dear Sunga. So I also think of someone who is like me, who is actually, starting from scratch, don't really have much, but is just trying to make it happen. And to be honest, it's been frustrating because I have been working really hard on like creating content and doing things, and you see someone doing the same thing and they're like exploding, and you're just like, how, do I not have the personality for it? What's going on? Is this just me? And then sometimes I get into my head and I have to remind myself, people are going, what you just need to do is just keep pushing and things will happen. And I've been pulling my analytics, and I've been kind of like trying to be sure, and it's actually been good on Instagram and TikTok. So just an FYI, if you're on Instagram and TikTok and you've seen my reel, you like my reel, like hopefully you follow and subscribe. So the conversion rate is a little low, so I'm trying to figure out what are better ways to do it. So been getting a few suggestions here, just implementing a little here and there and see where it sticks and where it goes. So that's pretty much what it is. And it's one of those things that, you just got to keep pushing and eventually things will happen. And I think there's some things in me, like one of the things that I had struggled with, especially in my 30s, was like, well, years like in my 20s, I think my career was doing really well. And then when I moved to California and just exploring different things, it's been hard. And so now that I'm a little bit more wiser, I'm realizing, everyone has a season and things will happen, and things, everything that you've gone through will get you to where you need to be. So that's how I see things right now. Have I always been this way? No, I have not. But I feel like there's a someone saying fayalele, like keep doing it, you keep grinding at it, and eventually it will be good. So that's where I'm at right now. It's been difficult, but at the same time I know that eventually things will get better. So evergreen, that's how I see it. And I'm super excited because it's like I didn't plan on it. Like, I mean, I always knew that I wanted to create a circle, trying to figure out how it happens. But I just feel like with everything that's been coming together, I'm just excited for where it's gonna go. So super, 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 super love it. So I'm trying to also like make sure that I'm like, okay, make sure I don't miss anything. What else did I do? Oh, in terms of TikTok, gosh, everything's been, I can't remember the last, oh yes, the yaps. The last yap was with Elsie being a guest, and I've had 2 guests so far in July, which I absolutely love. Mackenzie and Maya, love them. So the thing with Maya and Mackenzie, Maya had reached out to me because she saw an episode, an older episode, and she's like, I love what you're doing. I would love to like connect with you and like share with you what I do with PIFA, Pacific Island Festival, which is of San Diego, and they're one of the largest festivals out here in the US. So I was like, yeah, sure. I'm glad to connect and happy to. And she's like, well, my friend, she's like, oh, Mackenzie, and she won the Greatest American Baking Show. And I go, I've heard of Mackenzie. I've seen Mackenzie. So I was like, yeah, let's get together and let's connect. And I love that episode because it truly was about, I'm Afokasi too. I'm half Korean, half Samoan. they're half Palangi, half Samoan too. So it's kind of relating to that, relating to having to live in both worlds. Like there's that duality, right? Even if you're full Samoan, but you lived out here in the diaspora versus someone who's lived in the islands. And so that's one of the things that I love about Dear Sunga, is the fact that even though we're in different places, there's always something that helps really, that connects us. And I feel like that's what's always like pushing me forward, because even if it's just one woman that watches this and actually learns something or takes something away to kind of help with whatever goals or whatever she's aspiring to be, then that would mean a whole lot for me. I just feel like there's a lot out there and there's a need for it, and so hence the reason why I'm creating this. And if I feel like everyone in my circle usually starts off with a 501c3, but I think I wanted to start it off as an LLC just because, there's a lot. I think it needs to happen. Like, I'm also trying to do a 501c3, just because I feel like there's a need for the community, but there's a reason why I'm creating it as a business as well. I'm happy to share that with you if you want to. I'm happy to find some time with you just to kind of connect and kind of share why I've made that decision for myself. But yeah, like the conversation with Mackenzie and Maya was amazing. So I'm so grateful for Maya to actually be proactive and reach out to me. And I'm hoping that if you have a business or a part of an organization, just have a chat with me about what you're doing. Then I'm happy to have that. And I think that's what the platform is for. The podcast is always going to be free. It's not going to be something that I'm looking to like charge anyone for. So I'm actually excited for where that could go. And then I had Loiva Floyd. So Loiva and I have been planning forever to like create an episode, but we finally did it. And I actually got to know who Eva was through Polygirl, Stella Heck, who was also part of the podcast. And so, it was nice that I was able to also get to interview Eva. She's looking to be part of the Olympics in LA 2028. So I'm excited for her. And so, it's not an easy journey, and it's always good that, especially she's like a one woman who's like trying to do weightlifting and trying to represent American Samoa on a limited budget, having to go from a really great job in Utah as a DQ research all the way back to Samoa and, represent. That's a lot. I don't know if I could do that right now, but, it shows a lot of passion behind it, and so I love that for her. And so love that she and Polygirl actually got together, do a collaboration around creating like a search or a t-shirt. So if you purchase it, you actually some of the proceeds will go to helping Eva and her dreams of getting to the Olympics 2028. So I thought that was pretty cool. And so I love that I can have a small part of just kind of having that out there. So hopefully more people can support her. And that's exactly what Dear Sunga is all about. And that's what excites me, because it's the opportunity for us as women to kind of really support each other. And I think one of the reasons why I feel so strongly about it is because I grew up in that sort of environment. Like even in our Samoan, we have a saying that goes, it's like it's through the women that something gets done. That's the shorter version of it. But I've always felt that empowerment as a woman to do and make things happen. And I think a lot of our culture, especially, the woman usually is the breadwinner. The woman is the one who actually supports the family. And then in some cases, the man is the breadwinner, but she's the one that actually brings everyone together. I think, especially in today's world, that role could look different. And so I think it's just kind of like connecting with different women just so we can have that out there. Yeah, so that's been fun. If you are listening in, love to kind of connect and have questions about things that you thought were pretty cool. So Instagram has been great. It's like carousel seem to be working really well. So I put out a carousel for Eva. That's been working. My views have been high that week, but this week hasn't been. I'm also the other thing that I've changed in my Instagram is that I'm also kind of inserting a little bit of myself too, because prior to that I've always just kind of put like, okay, like this is a conversation between me and a guest, but never like the behind the scene. Behind the scenes have always been living on my YouTube channel with like my shorts, and the shorts on the YouTube channel with the mini vlogs seem to be working really well. So I was like, okay, well, let me do this. And so I put out an episode of Waymo, which has been a good traction too. Like I went to LA and I took my first Waymo trip. So if you haven't heard, like Waymo is like a self-driving like Uber Lyft kind of deal, and I actually did one, and I was kind of like, it's weird because it feels so eerie, because you know how you watch like sci-fi movies and you're like, and I was in the car and I'm like, this is really happening. I'm not imagining this. I'm not watching this in a movie. I'm actually partaking in it. So it's kind of like, it's crazy to feel like you live in what you never thought would happen. Like even like how we can touch our iPads and like create everything electronically. That was something that I thought only existed in movies. It's like, okay, throw it up on the screen. Show. I'm excited for where technology can take us. I've never been someone who's been afraid of technology. I feel like um, I've seen articles in the past where like AI is evil, but I feel like if you fear something, you're never going to truly understand where it could take. And I feel like it's the person behind it. So I don't know. I'm optimistic about it. But, I'm optimistic, but with still some, you know, guardrails on where we're going. So I'm still optimistic, but I'm also very cautious of how I use AI, which I absolutely have to say, like, I have built my website all on AI. So if you're ever interested, that is definitely something I'm happy to also kind of include in my website or include as part of Dear Sunga. So if anyone is ever interested in that, then let me know, because I thought that was pretty fascinating. And I mean, it wasn't easy at all. It's not like you just punch it in, like put in like your prompt and then it spits it out. Oh no, it was like tears for sure making it happen, but it sure came to life. So I'm actually pretty excited. It's still like 85% there the way I'd like it to be, but there's things in there that I think it just happens organically as things kind of continuously grow. So that's been exciting. Yeah, so I've been very much into checking out what's out there in terms of AI with ChatGPT, especially now with Cowork and ChatGPT's work that just came out like a couple weeks ago. So it's kind of testing out what the capabilities are and where it can go, but at the same time, can it still have a layer of authenticity? So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do the live. It's just kind of like, this is the real me. This is what you're gonna get. I am not polished at all. There are times where you're just like, what is she trying to say? And this is exactly what it is. So eventually these will get better. I sometimes feel like maybe I don't have a lot to talk about, but I'm looking at the clock right now. It's like 28 minutes. Wow, that's amazing. I've been yapping for forever, but I want the yaps to also feel like it's going somewhere. So I'm trying to I feel like this is how all my conversations are. Like, even though I create like a perfect list of things to do, things will always turn out different. But I see, that's the thing about me. I can plan. I'm not afraid to plan. I love to plan as much as I can. And people were like, well, I've had these feedback before where it's like, well, you know, it's being agile, which I'm like, I'm not. Okay, I'm not going to go there because it's something I'm still thinking about. But yes, there are things where I can be very rigid and I'm inflexible about things. But I do love, like, this is how I plan. I will plan things to death. I will be like, figure out A, B, C, D, E, like plan A, plan B, plan C. But then when a real vacation comes in, it's like, okay, I'm cool. I am not going to stress out. This is going to go okay. I've been in vacation where I was like, I wanted to see the balloons. So my best friend and I went to New Mexico, and I really wanted to see like the hot air balloon go up. And so, but we were stuck in traffic, and I cried my eyes out. Like, I can't believe we missed it. Inside I was crying so hard. But I don't think it was only me crying because of the air balloon, because the hot air balloon, because there were so many things happening. uh, that was such, yeah, it's and she's like, this is not normal. but I've always been that person where I will plan everything, but then there'll be a point where I'm just like, you know what, if it doesn't happen, we can do this. If not, then we're going to do this. And that's one of the other things too. Like, I love going places with my girlfriends. I love doing things with them, but I also love my solo trips because I don't want you to tell me what I need to do. I need to do things on my own. I like to just like wake up, not be stressed. It's like, if you want to do it, okay, great. If you don't want to do it, but if I'm like, you need to do this with me. So I want to go do this. So I don't have to worry about whether you want to do it or I don't want to do it. I'll just go do it. So that's why I love solo trips. And it's one of those things that I hope that I can continuously do. And I think one of the things I'm excited about Dear Sunga is the opportunity to actually do more of those, because I love going and doing those on my own. And I also feel like sometimes, like it's kind of weird, right? Because I'm a person here trying to grow a community of women, but I also love my personal space. I've struggled a little bit like with this lately, because as much as I love my family, as much as I can't, like, I just work better and my brain just does things really well if I'm given space to kind of decompress and just do things on my own. That's what I'm saying. I'm a total introvert because I need space to myself to kind of regain my energy before I can actually go back and just be like, hi, how are you? And, there's points where I can be a social butterfly, but I really need my space. So that's always been me. So if you feel the same way, like, I'm not here to tell you we're going to do everything together. No, like, you can decide whether you want to be on it or not. But it's like, sometimes you want to be on your own, doing your own thing, but you still can learn from one another. So that's just all I'm saying. Still in development phase. But yes, I'm excited for the calendar, the ARC. It's called ARC Winter. So ARC Winter is usually the last quarter, but I liked for September, it's like for us to go through it together and just kind of like that season to kind of look through your goals, what was working, what was not working. And then October through December, it's that trial period of having to figure out, okay, let's see if we're going to meet our goals, and be okay with the fact that it's not going to be perfect. Because the thing about New Year's resolution, the reason why they don't work is because people will say, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then when one thing doesn't work out, they just like, okay, bye, I'm done. So that's why I feel like this is the best time. So I'm actually super excited. So hopefully you can join with me. Yeah, lots of cool things. I mean, I'm going to try and make these yap sessions. Well, I'm gonna make these lives. I'm gonna go live more often. But what I'm gonna do is, maybe I should polish just a little bit more with some of the information that I gave. But yeah, let me see what else is out there. Yes, I talked about Puaskin. Oh, Pacifica Pathway. They're up in Alaska. Lori Lay and her mom, Mary. I think they had like a successful event. I haven't had a chance to look through it, but it was Friday, so I'm excited. Yesterday, so I'm excited to see how everything went through. So they're really great, and I gotta reach out to them because they love planning. They love a good planner. So I'm like, oh, that's exactly what I'm doing. And then deep sea mining, of course, as always, it's still one of those things that are still big out there, and hopefully, I don't know what else. I mean, there's so much we could do. And I don't think you have to wait until your lawmakers for, I mean, you should reach out to the funnel, all those, the legislative, executive, and see what you could do to kind of hopefully push to ban deep sea mining. If you haven't seen that episode, I hope you can go and you can check it out. So that's been great. I think one of the biggest things for me this year has been the vision portion of it. So I was challenged this week to kind of really sit down and figure out what my vision is. And while I was planning this out, I was like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what I want to do. But visions, there was something about the vision that kind of scared me because I had always envisioned something to happen and it didn't, and it crushed my soul, and I was worried about that. And then I had to remind myself, so, but you know, it's one of those things that you can't control other people's feelings. Maybe I was, yeah, you can't control other people's feelings. You can only control what you can build. And I was okay with that, what I'm building, you know. At some point, I can look back and I can say, whatever happens, I can say that I did it. That's how I see things now. The best I could. Did I really give it my all? And if I gave it my all and the outcome is totally different, it could be timing, it could be something else, you know. So I have to remind myself that it's okay. Give myself grace, because sometimes we're so hard on ourselves, and I say this out loud not just as an advice, but it's a reminder to myself, because that's something I'm constantly doing, you know. The only person holding myself back is me. And so it's funny because I do like brainstorm a lot and probably say a lot to ChatGPT and to Claude. But one of the books that I'm going to start reading, I have it in my list of audibles, but have not yet like really read it. It's called The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest. So that's been on my list for quite some time, and I haven't really want to read it just because stupid, but yeah, just because it says mountain, and it's just one of those things in my life that I'm trying to navigate through the rejection and all that other stuff, and being reminded of people. So I'm trying to just be like, oh, okay, let's read it. It probably relates to me, because even the coach was like, the only person holding yourself back is you. And I think so too. So I feel like that's always been something people are telling me, and I'm like, I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know. So I'm trying to challenge myself, like right now, even with this live thing, because I feel like this is really going nowhere, and no one's really like, this is so imperfect. It's not exactly what I would want to put out there. I'm challenging myself to just do it. Just put it out there and see where it goes. So that's where that is. So I'll share with you what that's going to be like. I also have a book. I feel like I haven't been reading as much as I should. So I even have a book that I got, and I left it in my niece's backpack. So hopefully they'll be swing by soon to kind of to drop it off. But it's called This Killing Spell, and it is by Shay Koe. So I don't know if you can see it, but that is it. The Killing Spell. So I actually bought it, but so I sometimes like having a physical book. I've been doing a lot of audibles, but I feel like this is a good opportunity for me to read a book more often. Like I feel like I haven't read in forever. I'm also super excited because I watched a couple. I feel like, so I've done Ozempic, I've done Mounjaro in the past, but I feel like what has really like been consistent for me has been me tracking my results. And so I'm really excited also about AI. I keep coming back to AI, but I actually am very excited because I'm hoping to actually do a better tracking system of how I'm going to lose weight. And I am going to lose weight, the weight back. I'm going to lose that weight. So yes, I'm excited for that. Um, so there's a lot of exciting things. I mean, this isn't a time like people are like you still, and if you have a goal, this is still an opportunity for you to push for your goals to be to the finish line, right? So I'm excited. Other things that have happened is so there's an job opportunity that came up, and um, so I'm so I've been going back and forth because I think with things that have happened in the past and with this, it's like sometimes I tell myself, okay, I'll take whatever you give me, and I am going to work my butt off, and you're going to see that I'm good at what I do. But there was something in me like that kind of went, do you really see my worth, or is this your worth? So I'm actually trying to figure that out myself and not just jump in and say, yes, I'm down to work. So we'll see. Yeah, like right now, financially, it's a difficult moment in time, but with God's grace and God's love, I've been able to still push through. I don't know how I'm making it happen, but you always just gotta find a way to make things happen. So it's a difficult season, but I'm also okay with it. So if you've been with me through this, you are basically seeing things happen in real time. And I have vowed to continuously move forward. And the thing is, like even with Dear Sunga, it's had its various iterations. Like I've always kind of like I love healthy eating. Like I love like clean eating, and I think that's always been something I've loved to do in the past, and I think I need to get back into it because I've been eating really bad, and that's one of the reasons why I've gained weight. But I know the feeling of what it's like to eat good, like eat right. And so initially Dear Suna's idea was spin and sister. So I thought of myself as like spin, spin the way, not spin class, but spin the way you think about things. Like I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna be a spinster, I'm gonna have like everyone else around me is getting married, having kids. And there was a time in my life, like honestly, my younger year, I was never ambitious. I was just like, I'm just gonna go to college because my parents want me to go to college, and then I don't know, I want to have a family, I want to have like kids, and I'm probably going to take them on their practice, like have them go and like, go through their day. I wanted to be a mom just like my mom, even a better mom than my mom. But I don't know. I'm okay with like I'm not I think I've made peace with it. I mean, I'm a person that also doesn't mind if it's adoption or like I want to give, if I have a child, I want to give my child the best of what's out there. If I have a child, I probably would want to raise them in the islands because I had such a beautiful childhood, and I would want them to grow up with the same childhood and the same experience, even better than what I have gone through. I would love for them to travel, get to experience the world. And I'm realizing that I want to experience the world, And I'm realizing too that I think ever since I became a teacher, I realized how difficult it is to have a child. And I'm like, man, the things you as a parent have to sacrifice to help a child. And there are good parents, and then there are parents that aren't the best either. But and my heart always went out to the student that even if you grew up in such an environment that you didn't think you were going to flourish in, if you have the tenacity, if you wanted it so bad, like their drive has helped me just go, man, I wish I had that when I was young, because I didn't. I didn't care. Either way, I was just like, oh, I have to take the SAT here. Cool, let me take it. I think it was good enough that I was in an environment that I had friends and people around me that were just like doing things. Like, I don't know. I feel like I went to summer school every year. I was like, I didn't need to go to summer school, but I was like, I don't want to go to summer school. Like, I want to just enjoy myself. Or like I went to, like, there was always something like tutoring, like my parents would always do something, and I took those things for granted, whereas in other, like being a teacher and seeing how determined a student wants to be to get to another level, like to improve their life and improve the life of their family, has really changed my perspective on things. And now that I'm in this state, like I don't have a desire. Like if I can have kids, that'd be great. I'm not gonna throw away any blessings if it was to happen. But I also think, like I don't want to be a single mother. I do want to have a great relationship with the person that I can have. I think a good partnership is a beautiful thing to have. I've witnessed it with my parents. I want to see it with my own life. But guess what? I've learned the hard way that, I've been wanting to have something happen so bad that it almost destroyed who I was as a person because I felt like I wasn't good enough. And last July, I think this month, July and August has always been a difficult time for me. So, last July, I just felt so hurt the way being disrespected in a level that I didn't think was ever possible. And I never want to feel that way again. And I don't think I'll ever be in that space to ever feel that way. So it's a fresh situation. I think I've carried it for a couple of years, thinking things are gonna happen, and just being treated more disrespectful, and just from a person who didn't care. And I was trying so hard to prove to this person that I'm here for them, and I was. You know, I tried to be for that person for so long, but and you realize you give so much and nothing in return. I'm not saying I want anything back, but you have to remember, and I think this is important, especially if you are wanting to be in a relationship with someone, that it has to be reciprocated. And not because, oh, you don't like you when you give something, you give with your heart. You shouldn't be expecting things back. I'm not expecting something back, but in order to be loved back, you have to be receiving things too. And to be in that space and looking back at it is difficult. Not something I wanted to talk about, but I think what I'm trying to express is my vision, where I wanted to do and what I want and where I want to go. And so for me, I'm now more excited just because, I was writing down my vision. Usually when I think about these vision stuff, I always think of, I'm going to have a husband, I'm going to have kids. I've been writing my vision down, and I was like, I'm actually going to be enjoying myself. I'm going to go and, I envision myself getting up, cooking myself something really good, having a great breakfast, probably going to have a trainer come and actually be there to help me exercise in the morning because I can afford to buy a trainer. Hell yeah. Have a trainer. I'm going to have I'm going to be able to have meetings and just be very productive and be a businesswoman to just get things going. I'm going to be there to help another woman with her business, or help an organization, or help with visibility, things that I want to see happen and what I'm envisioning, and those are things that I'm envisioning. And then I can just go wherever I want to go because I don't have kids. I can go see my best friend whenever I can. I'll just fly wherever I want to go, and then I'm going to go see the places that I've always dreamed I wanted to go. And I, don't have to be held back by that. So that's where it is. I'm not saying I'm not against it. People always say, oh, you need to go back and start. People have always wanted to, before anything, people have always been pressuring me to go on dates. And I did. I went on dates and I tried to open up and it didn't work out. But I'm not close to it. I still believe in love. Even after all that, I still believe in love. I feel like, I'm grateful for having unconditional love, having grown up knowing what unconditional love is. And so I always still believe in love. I think love is a beautiful thing, whether it's with your friends or with your lover or whoever it is, and being unashamed about it. So I'm trying to be in a space where I'm okay and not have to worry about being ashamed about being in love. So I hope that if someone's out there that they've gone through a heartbreak, that they're not close to it, that they are still find a way to be open to it. I'm never going to go on any dating apps anymore. That's for sure. But you know, if love finds its way back to me, I will always be open and be um, you know, be open to it. It's not going to be easy for the person that's probably going to come my way, but I also feel like I think this has been a great season for me. I didn't date right away. I'm still not dating. I feel like I have to really understand myself because I knew how hurt I was, and being treated the way, like being treated that way, I would never want to impose, like, if I'm in a relationship, I want to be in a relationship and be open to receiving that relationship and not go with extra baggage. And so I feel like I've been able to overcome that. And so, gosh, I was talking about vision. So yeah, it's been a struggle this week just to kind of, like, it just took me back to a space that not so much, but I was angry with myself because I poured so much, and I was realizing that I needed to give myself grace. That is something I've learned so much in my life right now. Is like, be grateful and give myself grace. Like, that I know that I put as much of my effort out there, and if it wasn't received, that's on that other person. But it's okay with me because I gave it with pure intentions. Anything that I do for people, I always try to do it with everything that I have in me. Could it be perfect? No, it probably hasn't. And I was struggling through it all. But I try my best, even though I was hurting inside from all the situation that was happening, but I still did my best to just still open my heart as much as I can. So I guess that's where I'm at right now. I'm excited for things to happen with Dear Sunga. I'm excited to meet with other women. You know, sometimes I'm reaching out to people. I feel like everything that has happened in my life, for example, having come here to California, having done sales, having gone into like client relationship, and then going into administrative, and then business operations and HR, just kind of all came together to be where I am. I feel like there's still much that I can give to the world, and just be able to be like, you know what? All of those experiences will lead me somewhere. So that's where I'm excited to take with Dear Sunga. So yeah, so this is just Yaps Under the Breadfruit Tree, and so we'll see what comes up next week. Be on the lookout for my reel, and again, signing up for my newsletter because I'm excited. This is Poskin. This is actually Manuka Cashmere. This is other line, but the one that I recently got is bergamot sandalwood. So I love a good scent. Now I'm going off on tangent, but so it's weird because I ordered this for my best friend because it was her birthday, and I was like, I love her sets. Like, her sets are beautiful. Like, she packages really well. It's glass. And so I wanted to try it out. So it's like, oh, her birthday's coming up. I'm gonna get this for her. And then I was like, and I usually don't like to purchase the same brand once I'm done with what, so I've already finished the scrub, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy a new scrub, and I already had a scrub in mind at Sephora's, but I was like, oh, she actually came up with a summer scrub. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll get it. Let's see what it's like. I didn't even know what it was until I got here. And it's crazy because I love a good scent for my house, and the one that I had recently was lemon bergamot sea breeze, and I was trying to purchase the big bottle, but instead I purchased the wrong one, and it was bergamot sandalwood. So it's crazy because I just think that's my scent right now is bergamot and sandalwood. I love bergamot. If my house doesn't smell like peppermint, it is going to be bergamot. So yeah, anyways, on a tangent, I'm excited for Puskin. I'm excited for anyone to try it out because I swear, this is gonna go somewhere. Puskin is going somewhere, and you'll thank me later once it goes big, but that you get to try it out. So if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, I hope so. Like, even subscribing, because your girl is just trying to grow her audience on here. So I think I've put out a lot today. Not what I was expecting, but I wanted to share what was happening this week in terms of the vision of where things are going. I mean, that was sort of, I mean, it's crazy because literally that's what I've been learning is vision, but somehow I couldn't put it on paper. And I think it was just me, like a part of me that I feel like I put a vision before that I wanted to go home, and it's gonna happen. Like it might not be happening next anytime soon. Hopefully next year it's happening, and I intend to make it happen. One of the vision I had, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have moments where I'm actually going to envision things more, like a vision exercise, not just one time vision, but to continuously have a vision and to always have it at the top of my mind. So one of my visions, and I envision myself being home, drinking some tea, sitting in front of my mama, my grandma's grave, and I'm looking out, and because my grandma's grave is here, and then my mom and my dad's grave is there, and just be like, one of my bucket lists is fixing my parents' grave, and it's gonna happen. Okay, so I'm even putting it on camera, so that's gonna be happening for me. So if you don't know, so us in Samoa, our family or our loved ones are buried in front of our homes, and so mine particularly is buried in my mom's family home in Samoa. So right now it's not the best day. I'm praying and hoping. Like I feel like, yes, so much craziness that I can think of. Like with my mom's funeral, I was able to do my mom's headstone, everything for 1 year. I made sure it happened because I know she would have wanted to happen. With my dad, it's been like I've been out here in California and just struggling. And I've just been like, it'll happen, it'll happen. And it will happen. I do. It's something that's at the top of my mind. That's what I envision, is that I can sit there and go, you know what? I made it. I made this happen, and it is going to happen. So I always enjoy when I'm in Samoa, especially in Fafa. I love waking up early in the morning, and I love sitting on my grandma's stone and just like looking out. And that's like, of all the places I need to be in the world, that is my safe space. But now that my parents have, because she has like a little house, so you can actually literally, if you wanted to, you could sleep in there. But I don't know yet. I still don't have a clear vision of how I want to like fix my parents' grave. So maybe that's something that I need to develop in my mind. But yes, that's something I'm gonna happen. So yes, this week was all about vision, about grounding, and just getting excited over it. Just so that when I come back to this, because sometimes I'm so boggled down by all, like, oh my gosh, I have to do the LLC, the DBA, gotta make sure the 401c3 and then the 501c3, the work, the verbiage is right, and so yeah, it's there's things that scare you, but it's going back to that vision to see what it is that you want to do, and that's exactly what gets me excited. So yeah, I hope you all have an amazing start to your week. Be on the lookout, as I will continuously be on here to say, to do a little yap. It's just that I haven't done a yap in forever, so I hopefully the next time. I mean, if you have any particular questions, I want to see some comments on these things so that I can go, it gets me excited. Okay, so hopefully you'll leave a comment, and I know that some of you are watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel and check out my website. With all my love and mana, hope you have a great week.